Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Sabans. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment. And we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And folks, we on one today. We are on one today. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. Also, just so y'all know, we are actually going to be launching an exclusive Dreamers Pro community very, very soon. So if you guys want early access to receive a one-time offer, be sure that you join the waiting list, because that's the only place you're going to be able to get it. We already have close to 300 people sign up, like 292, 293 or something like that. So if you want to be a part of that, please make sure you go ahead and do so. We got that pinned in the description and the comments below. Anyway, let's get into today's topic. Yesterday, we went to war with Gilbert Arenas. We went to war with him about Kobe Bryant. And trust me, we got a show coming on later today, depending on the order in which you guys see this show, where Gilbert Arenas fired back at us. And we're going to do a response to it. So y'all want to stick around for that. But anyway, we did a show reacting to a segment that took place on Gil's Arena featuring Brandon Jennings, Nick Young, and Gilbert Arenas himself. And essentially what happened was Gil started off the segment. He threw the question out there. He said, ranking these three players: Michael, Jordan, LeBron, Kobe. Who's the best killer? Rank them from 1 to 3. And as soon as Gilbert Arenas said that, Brandon Jennings mouthed off Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. Nick Young was about to say the similar thing, then Gilbert Arenas jumped in. And all hell broke loose from that point. We produced a show about it, and it got a lot of reaction to the point where we got to do a follow-up. We got to do a follow-up because when I woke up this morning, one of our followers, I believe his name is Khalid, if I got his name right, messaged me on IG, and he's like, yo, look at these stats right here. And I want you to point this out, that Gil was capping about LeBron and Jordan about these numbers here. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh, looks like he has a point. So I'm like, we got to talk about this today. But to give us some context, I want to play this specific part where we're talking about ranking, because it's a specific part where Gil talks about who got more kills more for faster or whatever, because really that's at the heart of today's show. So before we go too far, we want to play that sound for you, and then we're going to come back and get on, continue on with the show. Take a listen to what these guys had to say here.
Who is the better killer? Jordan, LeBron, Kobe. Put them in order.
Killer?
Mm-hmm.
Michael, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. There you go.
I would go.
I don't care.
How do you,
Go get it done.
Right?
Go get it done 6
I'll go
times.
Kobe.
Every
I
time I go.
They all still killers at the end of the day.
no,
I go
and
Kobe.
that's the problem
I go Kobe.
with the argument.
No,
right?
it don't matter. Somebody got to win.
When they say this guy is a pit bull and this guy is a cat, but the cat has more kills, total kills at the fastest mark, has more accuracy at killing, but you're calling him like you can't. You got to change how you use stuff.
Don't care about that.
Little
Don't matter. You have, but you
not
Listen,
killing
at the end, right. We just want you to kill one point. We don't care about that little shit. We don't care about that little
after you have to change how you use stuff. Because if you're calling me softy, but I'm busting your ass, it says more about you now. If you're saying this guy's a killer and this guy's soft, but this guy has way more kills in a faster time, you can't use those. You gotta describe it a little bit different.
No, I don't.
So you heard what they had to say. So this viewer sent me this stat, and I started to go through it and compare the numbers and crunch the numbers. I'm like, well, wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. These stats are saying the total opposite of what Gil was saying. But before we even get into these stats and this breakdown, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. PrizePicks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week on PrizePicks, I'm looking at the upcoming NBA schedule and selecting Stephen Curry for more than 29 points and Kevin Durant for more than 27 points and Anthony Davis for more than 12 rebounds and Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play it safe, you'll love PrizePicks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into the stats here. He sent me the numbers of when LeBron hit 10,000 points versus when Jordan hit 10,000 points. And according to the data, it took Jordan 303 games to hit the 10,000 point mark. It took LeBron 368 games to reach the 10,000 point mark. Now, he brought up LeBron getting to 10,000 points before Kobe, which of course is true. But I want to give you guys a larger picture. LeBron did get to did get to 10,000 before Kobe. But if you look at how many games it took Kobe to get to 30,000 points, it took him 1,180. It took LeBron 1,107. So the numbers aren't that far apart. They're not that far apart, but what these numbers don't show you is the context. Because if you just look at these numbers, you would think that, man, LeBron he's just a better scorer than Kobe Bryant. Because after all, that's why Gil is bringing it up. He's saying who did it faster to kind of create a picture to say, well, this guy's doing it faster, so clearly he's better. But what he's not giving you is the full picture. Because looking at that, you would think, oh, LeBron is definitely a better scorer than Kobe. But he's not. He's not. One of the reasons it took Kobe a little longer, or rather, one of the reasons LeBron was able to catch Kobe, or do it faster rather, was because Kobe, for a certain stretch of his career, was playing with a guy that was averaging between 28 and 30 points per game. Between 28 and 30 points per game. That was one of the reasons. Shaq, for some of those years, was averaging between 28 and 30. One year he averaged, 29.7 points per game? So it's going to be really hard to rack up all of those points when you're playing alongside another bona fide scorer in Shaq. At no point in time has LeBron ever played with a team that can score at that level. It's only this year, in year 22, when AD is now, I think at one point was averaging 28 a game. So I think the context is important. Because if you just look at the stats and you don't put them in context, it will tell you a story that's not true. It could be misleading. So let's look at it from a larger standpoint. If Gil is saying LeBron did this faster than Kobe, it must mean that somehow he must be better at doing this thing than Kobe, which is scoring points. But let's look at it in terms of milestones. How many 40-point games would you think LeBron has in his career? How many 40 points? You know, the guy that's the greatest scorer of all time. The greatest scorer to ever touch the floor. How many 40-point games would you think he had? 200? 150? 100? What number would you think? LeBron has 77 games. 77 games where he scored 40 points. 77. Kobe, that LeBron is supposed to be better at scoring, otherwise why even bring up that number? He has 122. 122. And LeBron has played more years than Kobe. So let's figure this out. LeBron has played more years, but Kobe has more 40-point games. Okay, some of y'all are like, well, maybe it may just be 40-point games. Maybe LeBron has more 50-point games. LeBron in his career in 22 years has 14 50-point games. Kobe has 6. 25. 25. Almost double the 50-point games. Let's look at 60-point games. Well, LeBron only has 1 career 60-point games. Kobe has 6, and I think he had 2 in 1 week. 2 in 1 week. Not to mention the fact that Kobe scored 40 for 9 straight games. I think then James Harden broke that record, if I'm not mistaken. But to bring it into context, because Gil was talking about who killed faster, who's killing faster, who blah 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 kill faster. How many 40-point games do you think Jordan has? How many 40-point games do you think Michael Jordan has? Michael Jordan has 177. Jordan has more 40-point games than Stephen Curry and LeBron James combined. And he's still ahead of them by, 30? Steph and LeBron combined have 145. Jordan by himself has 145, has 177. So when Gil brought up that thing about, kills and Jordan got more steals than LeBron. He does. He has more steals than him. And if you talk about effectiveness, it's not even a conversation. Let me just give you guys this last piece of information here. LeBron has played for 22 seasons. Let me see something. Let me just verify this because I just want to be correct when I say it. I want to be sure how many times LeBron has made an all-defensive team. He's played for 22 years. Okay. In those 22 seasons, LeBron has made an all-defensive team. Let me see. 5 firsts. No. 5 firsts. 1 second. So for 25% of LeBron's career, for 75% of LeBron's career, he was not even an all-NBA level defender. For 75% of his NBA career, he wasn't even an all-NBA caliber defensive player. But you got these clowns and jigaboos out there that want to do a special that Nick Wright and all these guys put together of the year that Michael Jordan, or the year that LeBron got robbed of a defensive player of the year, or the year that Michael Jordan didn't deserve one. Meanwhile, Jordan made 9 all-first defensive teams and has a defensive player of the year. Kobe did it 12 times. 12 times. So in terms of impact, and that's not a counting number, although you can count the appearances, you can see who had a greater impact on the team, on the game itself. And by the way, just to close this out, I decided to look at it at a 15-year window. You know, since Mr. Kill is faster than Jordan, Kobe, and all of this. LeBron scored in 15 seasons 31,038 points. Jordan scored in 15 seasons 32,000 points. Which means that if Jordan played what, 20 years? That means that Jordan would have what? Let's see, how many points would Jordan have? 32,000. Okay, divided by 15 is what? 2,133 times 22. It means Jordan would have 46,900 points. Or let's do 2,000. Let me just get the number again, because y'all think that LeBron is something to be compared to Michael Jordan, and I'm saying it's not. Let's just do the math in front of you guys. 32,000 divided by 15 seasons times 21 years, since it's LeBron 22nd. So it means that Jordan, had he played as long as LeBron did, he will be sitting on 44,800 points. Now put that in your crack pipe and smoke it. End of discussion. Do not compare LeBron James to Michael Jordan. There is no road to success with this argument. I just shut it down for like the 1,000th time. Let's stop the nonsense. These dudes are not on the same level. Bring another argument.